Okay, in this video, we're looking at the two additional trig functions, which are sine and cosine. Just like tangent, you're only ever relating it to an acute angle. So I'm going to focus on one acute angle first. Angle x, okay? So I circle the angle to get that visualization of that's my reference point. Now from angle x, 3 is my opposite side, 5 is my hypotenuse, and 4 is my adjacent leg, okay? Once you have that all labeled, now you can figure out what sine and cosine and tangent, if I wanted, of that is. So sine of x is equal to, from my mnemonic, SOHCAHTOA, so is opposite over hypotenuse, so 3/5. And that's what sine of x is equal to in this case, which is 0.6, right? Using the same setup, I want to also find cosine of x. Cosine of x is my adjacent over hypotenuse, which is adjacent over hypotenuse 4/5, which is 0.8, right? That is sine and cosine related to angle x. Keep in mind, we can do it at both acute angles, so I'm going to also do it for angle z, okay? Angle z, now the sides are going to be different. So 4 now is my opposite, 3 is my adjacent, 5 is still my hypotenuse. Now focusing on the blue coloring, and colors can really help you if you have some at home, I can set up my same ratios. So sine of z is opposite of z over hypotenuse of z, which is 4/5, 0.8. Cosine of z is adjacent over hypotenuse 3/5, or 0.6. And those are my ratios. Let's do it again for number 26. Same thing, only difference is that your triangle's oriented a little differently. It's kind of rotated. But just focus on what you know. I'm going to do angle x first, because why not? So angle x here, 55 is pretty clearly my opposite side. But be careful, your hypotenuse is opposite the right angle, so 73 is my hypotenuse, whereas 48 then is my last side, which is my adjacent leg. Let's set them all up. Sine of x is opposite over hypotenuse, which in this case looks like 55/73, opposite over hypotenuse, which if I type that into my calculator would get me 0.7534. And let's do cosine of x. Cosine of x, again, I've got all the sides labeled. So it's adjacent over hypotenuse, which is in this case 48/73. 48/73, if I type that in my calculator, is 0.6, that's a 6575. Cool. All right, that's everything related to angle x. Let's talk about angle z now. So again, I'm going to circle it so I get that visualization. It helps me with the colors. Opposite of z is 48. Adjacent is 55. My hypotenuse remains the same. Sine of z is 48. Opposite over hypotenuse, 73. Which is 0.6575. What do you know? They're the same. Cosine of z is my adjacent, which is 55, over hypotenuse, which is 73, gets me 0.7534. That's just setting up the ratios. Next step will be solving.